People ask me all the time if I'm going to miss living in Boulder. And the answer to that is, of course, especially now more than ever. I've had such an amazing time here. I discovered the world of emergency medicine. I did my first marathon. I did such a cool class in the spring where I did a simulation at the Mars Desert Research Station in Utah. And I've honestly, when it comes to socializing and making social connections, I have honestly kept to myself quite a bit and really focused my energy on the friendships that I already had and cultivate them to be even richer, even though I've maintained them long distance, and that has been great. It's been so fulfilling. And I have met a couple cool people in person here, and I think just more broadly speaking, whenever we have to lose a person, that's one of the hardest parts of life. So when I move back to Texas, I'm going to be, quote, losing this place, this people, these opportunities. I mean, I found a great emergency medicine program. But what I want to talk about today is how scarcity serves us. And if you know me, I'm all about abundance mindset when it comes to career, when it comes to opportunities, relationships, friendships, just your whole life. When you open up your whole aura to receiving abundance, that is what comes into your life. The songs that you listen to, it's all powerful. It's all this energy you put out. And if there's one thing that I come back to during times of stress and anxiety is abundance mindset that replaces that fear, that scarcity mindset. At the very same time, and what is so beautiful about life is this inherent dichotomy that exists in nearly everything. You have the good with the bad. When it's up, you know it's not going to stay up forever. And at the same time, when it's down, it's not going to stay down forever. So thinking about, yes, I'm a person that's very oriented to abundance mindset. However, scarcity mindset does serve us, and I'll tell you why. It's because things are valuable when they're scarce. One of the pillars of economics. It means that resources like time and money are limited, while our human wants are unlimited. And so sure, I love it here. I love my life here. I love that I can walk everywhere. I'm outside right now after the gym walking home. It's a brisk 50 degrees out. I love it here. And for all the incredible, unique opportunities that I've been able to get exclusively here. Yes, I love it. But you know what I recognized was I love it because it's limited. It has value because it's limited, because I have a clock. The moment I got here, I knew that I was going to be here on the order of 52 weeks. That's 52 weekends to get outside of Boulder and explore something. That's 52 weeks during the week to make the most of everything this town has to offer, and that is so much. And then for me, there's also this whole side of it in that I came here to go to grad school, and it feels like I almost got to redo my undergrad life knowing everything that I know now. And it's so funny because when I was an undergrad, I wish that I could go back to high school and relive that, knowing everything that I knew in undergrad. And I had a great high school experience. It's just, I felt I knew so much more. I would have just loved to relive it and see the workload, see differently, see friendships differently, see the whole decision. I'm so happy for how it all happened, of course. I love how everything is right now. I just always had this little feeling that it'd be so fun to go back, and it's crazy because I feel I got that with going back here in terms of I got to relive a little bit of that college life, but enriched by everything I learned going through my undergrad. I've also been fortunate enough in my life to peripherally absorb a lesson about how temporary life can be. Somebody very close to me, somebody that means everything to me, went through a very serious medical event. I was young at the time, and I can only imagine how stressful and how scary all that was. I got to witness this person afterwards living with this sense of calm, happiness, and also this amazing blend of also urgency for life, because it was made very apparent in that moment how brief of a time we have here and what to spend energy on, and happiness is a choice. And trust me, if you've listened to my other episodes, I know that things can get hard. I have to remind myself all the time, happiness is a choice. Being stressed is a choice. I do want to make the disclaimer here that after a grieving period, when something traumatic happens, yes, there's no need to choose happiness and choose all that, but after a period. So I want to recognize that. And, medical events like that can teach us how it can just go away, just like that. And so I feel from a young age, I always knew this story of what had happened. I feel I have absorbed that lesson. While that situation was no doubt so hard for everybody involved, I'm so grateful and want to take the lesson out of all of that to appreciate that we get to live the life and recognize that it is temporary. It's going to end, and so that's why I think all the time about what kind of narrative do I want to write? What do I want to be able to look back on and say that I did? It is definitely one of the fundamental core parts of me. And when we live in a place for a long time, or we do anything for a long time, when we're in a relationship for years, when we're in the same job for years, everything can get mundane. We get into our habits. Habits are beautiful in their own right. However, habits can sometimes make it feel as though the spark is gone. And so that's why when we go on a vacation, it's so magical because it's all so new again. And I had this thought that, okay, if I was just, gonna be here in Boulder, eventually, even as great as this place is, it would become the normal, And so for me, Boulder represents this amazing year in my life when I was 25, when I went out, and there was no I could have done my school online. There was no actual reason that I needed to move out here. I made it happen just for myself, and I had an amazing time, and it's a beautiful time stamp in my life. And that's what it is, and it's inherently like that because it's ending. I expand that to my whole life. My whole life is temporary. I live nearly every single day with this sense of urgency. And going back to losing people, that's so hard because that's a change that happens in our life without our direct control sometimes. Honestly, even when we do choose to have somebody no longer in our lives and it's our choice, that's still hard. And there's got to be a time that we grieve the person, the relationship. Like I talked about in my empathy episode, not everything has to have a meaning, especially when it comes to something like death. I think in time, we recognize that part of the reason it's so good is that it's temporary. Life doesn't wait to start. We're living it right now, and it's also ending right now. So if there's one thing that I've learned, it's to live with a sense of urgency. Wake up as many days as possible to see the sunrise. Understand that things are good because they end. Things ending is what gives them value. It's scarcity. And just like abundance mindset can serve us, this is how scarcity mindset even serves us, because it makes us appreciate things and be happy that they happened. And I just have to say, this has got to be the thumbnail for this video because I'm walking around and I am seeing the most beautiful sunrise, and I feel it's just a sign that this is what I was meant to be talking about this morning. That's what I've got for you today. This conversation also really ties into one of my pillars of life, which is the power of reframing. It's reframing this situation. Oh, I'm leaving Boulder. That's so sad. I could be so sad about it. I could be saying that all the time, but I choose to see it in a different way. I choose to see it as this beautiful time in my life, and I can always come back here and just remember this amazing year. So yeah, that's what I got, and I'll see you on the next one.